Take a look at this photo. There's something really, really cool happening in this photo. Can you tell what it is? Is it stage fright? She's got sweaty palms, maybe, butterflies in her belly. Is it an aha moment? Whatever it is, it's an I have something to say moment. Who's out there in the audience, though? Will she make them laugh? Will she make them think? What about the millions that might be watching online? Who will hear her words as a call to action? Whatever it is that's on our mind, this is an I have something to say moment. You guys have had these before, right? This sense of urgency. It's full of a need, a physical need to say that thing right now. This moment, the moment in which a human shares her or his idea with another person or other people, has been happening since we've had words to express ideas. I think it's one of the most important moments that happens in our human development. In this moment, we can shut down, or we can speak up. We can be shut down, or we can be asked to speak up so that others in the room can hear. We can be ignored, or we can be heard. What happens to us in these moments, what we do with them, how they're received, whether or not they're encouraged, determines so much about how we engage with the rest of the world, about how we decide to act the next time we have one of these moments. So the history of the origin of human language is a talk for a different day, and incidentally, it is a very, very deep rabbit hole to get into when you're procrastinating on something else that you should be doing. Despite lots of competing efforts and theories as to how and when we started doing this, it does seem like we humans have been communicating as a tool to advance humanity and as a measurement of our progress as a species. Human connection, the ability to communicate, to warn each other, to ask questions, to use our collective voice. It's what saves us from danger. It's what solves problems. It's what makes us human. As humans, we've developed a lot of tools to kind of help us along the way in terms of giving potential power to this moment. We've created a lot of things. The first alphabet, the first book, the first telegram, the first telephone. It's a sexy one. The first radio, the first TV. This is where things start to speed up a little bit. The first VCR, the internet, the first social network, and the first smartphone. That's right. Each of these inventions helped a human's voice go farther and faster than it ever had before. But with the advent of each of these tools, we see a pattern. At first, they're available to who? To the wealthy, to the powerful, right? The people who are able to communicate, who are able to share their ideas, were the philosophers, the inventors, the military, guys in suits. Eventually, though, over a long period of time, each of these tools makes communication more accessible. Here's the crazy thing about our modern world, though. The internet, and I say this carefully because I realize that we have a lot of debilitating accessibility issues that we still need to work through, but the internet and the things that go along with it, social networks and smartphones, are making communication more accessible than it ever has been before. This is an especially big deal because unlike the VCR or the TV or even radio, these new technologies allow you, not just the rich and the powerful, but you, to connect to the world outside of right here, beyond the walls of your bedroom, beyond your town, in unprecedented ways. Today, all you need to get a voice out there is one glowing rectangle and some bandwidth. This means that you no longer have to be part of some elite class to share your ideas with the world, right? Thanks to the smartphones and YouTube, you can be this 10-year-old kid sitting in his mom's front seat after basketball practice on a Tuesday.
Okay, guys. Now, I just came from the park, and it's this kid teasing me because I have feelers on. Now, mind you, I am not a material person. I just wear feelers because, I like the color, and I think they're cool. They might not be what's popular today, but, that's what I like. So, I told the kid, it's not about what I have on my feet, it's about what I have inside my head.
Niam is one example that says a lot about why we might be smarter as a society to get out of the way and invest more time in young people sharing their thoughts and ideas. And there are lots of other reasons for this. Really, it just makes good sense. You all are the ones that have the largest amount of time left to solve the big problems that we have not really been able to make too much of a dent in. Also, you're naturally better equipped than we are to solve these problems. You all are the first native speakers of this digital language. You're the ones who are experts at Twitter and Snapchat and whatever that new thing is that's probably come out during the time that I've been speaking that you've already mastered. I think Celia over there probably already has 12 viral Snap, Twit, chats, whatever the new thing is going to be called, already experts at it. This is something that is additionally important because you all don't see things that can't be done. You see things you haven't done yet. You naturally question what we olds consider to be the status quo because, quite frankly, your status hasn't been quoed yet. Like, to me, this is the box that my Vitamix came in. I don't have a Vitamix. I don't know why I said that. To me, this is a box. To a 7-year-old, it's a lab for doing experiments. Or a sweet plane to practice your upside-down flight loops in. Or something that can take you all the way to Pluto, because when you're 7, you don't judge Pluto for having its planetary status downgraded. You think, sweet Pluto, I am totally going there. You'll pick the uncomfortable fight that we tiptoe around every day. You'll name the elephant in the room because there's a freaking elephant in the room. Okay, so these are the reasons that I think that you all are better equipped to handle these problems than we are. So, y'all got this? All right, Celia, you're in charge. No, I'm kidding, but this is the kind of thing that we actually do, right? We say that youth voice is important, but that's a lot different than really giving it space to flourish. It's a lot different than actually listening. So, I did a lot of prep, as any expert would, for this talk. But what struck me was that what I probably should do is get out of the way, work to create some space for young people to share their ideas, and then step aside, which is exactly what my program tries to do.
There are over 2 billion school-aged individuals living in the world today. That's more young people than any other time in human history. And it's this generation's creativity, their actions, their art, their poetry, their protests, their questions, their code, their dreams. It's this generation's ideas that will define the future of our world. One well-articulated idea can reach and inspire millions. That's why TED's Youth and Education Initiative, TED-Ed, has created a program that's dedicated to sparking and celebrating the best ideas of young people around the world.
The essence of TED-Ed was to create more confident individuals.
It was our club. It was run by us and it was for us.
The program is called TED-Ed Clubs. It supports students in identifying their passions, learning public speaking skills, connecting with a global network of classrooms, and sharing student ideas in the form of short, TED-style talks. Here's how it works. Participating students and teachers gain access to a free and flexible curriculum they can use to start a TED-Ed club at their school. Each suggested meeting uses TED Talks to help students engage in critical thinking exercises and gain invaluable presentation skills. In the final meeting, students are invited to give their own TED Talk, and if they record their talk, they can upload it to TED-Ed's award-winning platform, where it can be referenced on a resume, a college application, and shared with participating clubs around the world. Over 2 billion young people empowered and encouraged to share their ideas. Imagine that future and bring TED-Ed clubs to your community today.
We are not the only organization that is trying to amplify youth voices. First Robotics inspires young people to become leaders in science and technology by having them design and build and program robots that solve real-world engineering challenges. The YMCA Youth in Government program encourages young people to take over state and national governments by researching, debating, and voting on policy issues that they care about for their own governments. Not that there's anything wrong with the way that my country or yours has been handling our governments lately. The Stanford Design School's Project Wayfarer focuses on helping teens discover and navigate a path for their future, for your future, based on your unique qualities rather than some prepackaged school subjects. Each of these efforts have the same fundamental assumption. You have something uniquely valuable to say right now. Not in some distant future time when all of a sudden you go from becoming the leaders of tomorrow to right now leaders. So what kinds of things do we talk about? What kinds of things are on your mind? Well,
society feeds off of insecurity, and I think everyone should learn to love and accept themselves for who they are. And
you gotta know that these people are your peers and they know you're nervous because you're giving a talk. So
it deals with the idea of nothingness and bleakness, and and it's hey ya, and I just
what animals do you have there? I mean, here we pretty much have squirrels, birds, and deer.
Our society thinks that girls are less bolder than boys and more emotional than boys. To prove that is not true, I'm going to give a TED talk.
This and other video highlighting student voices on things like bullying, stress, body image have been viewed on our platform over 1 million times. These students are leaders right now. In today's world, everywhere you go is a potential stage. Your kitchen, your mom's front seat, your classroom. And many of you are carrying a device in your pocket that will carry your thoughts, your dreams, your voice across the world. You can connect to other cultures and perspectives. You can brainstorm and collaborate in ways that I will never be able to understand because I don't get Snapchat filters and I never will. Most importantly, though, you're all carrying a story that is uniquely yours. It is yours something to say. Just like this young girl has her something to say right on the tip of her tongue. This moment, frozen in time, represents you and the millions of young people just like you, and also not at all like you, who will have thoughts, ideas, questions, and curiosities. And if you're brave enough to say it, to share it, it can travel farther and do more good now than any other time in history. So I'm going to get off the stage now, because it's your turn. What do you want to do with it? Thank you.